Okay, I'm just doing a test run real quick. Um, because I have no idea if I'm doing this right or not. Let me see. It doesn't seem like I am. All right. I have no idea um, what I'm doing. Okay, wait. I am live. I think. I think it's like a delay, maybe. Okay, so I'm doing it right. Okay, that just made me nervous a little bit. Okay, let me send this um, to get some people tuning. So the only thing is, it's just a delay right now. I wasn't gonna start till 9. Um, I'm nervous. I really didn't want to do this no more, but let me go ahead and start getting people um, ready for it. So, so the only thing is, it's just a delay right now. I wasn't gonna start till 9. Yikes! I'm nervous. I really didn't want to do this no more, but let me go ahead and start. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Okay, woo chow. Woo chow. First date, kind of nervous. But I do have my notes prepared in front of me, okay? For the topics that I'm going to go over. And I'm going to keep it brief and sweet and simple. And I think I want to stream from uh, TikTok instead of Instagram. And y'all people better be nice to me too. Now, if there are any comments while I'm currently live on YouTube, I won't be able to see them. If I do get any call interruptions or whatever the case, then please forgive me because I can't put my phone on. I can put my phone on D&D. 1 second. It's not 9 o'clock yet. I'm nervous and I'm trembling, waiting for you to come on in. I'm just gonna. This is kind of throwing me off the headphones, but I'm just gonna just talk for a minute. With this being my first kind of live, really going live. Let me skip this ad. I should have did something where it don't have the ads included with it. I just wanted to kind of give it a little vibe or something, y'all. But I'm just here to just have a quick discussion on learning silence and practicing silence. So bear with me because I don't want to say I am socially awkward because it's like me labeling myself and, carrying that. But I do have a tendency to be kind of introverted and a little nervous in my words because my number one language usually or really is music. So anytime I express myself, it's easily expressed through song. So I'm kind of trying to step outside of my comfort zone and just start talking a little bit more. I'm not going to be before y'all long whatsoever. And I keep looking at my phone and I'm streaming on YouTube too. So make sure y'all go, anybody that's on TikTok, go and subscribe to my YouTube page that I just started, which is Narrative Stands Podcast. And then just hit subscribe. But shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Make sure y'all share it or something if you want to. If you choose not to, it's okay, whatever. This is still just the first episode of me going live. So, again, just going to talk to y'all for a little bit on some of my key points and what I've been learning in this kind of season of isolation for me. I'm not here to preach or anything like that. I'm just giving kind of basic rules and tips and then also receiving advice from y'all on what y'all feel like is another way to cope through learning to obtain silence, like in a healthy way, to where feeling like you don't have to just speak out upon every situation and circumstance that occurs. So that's one of my number one flaws and downfalls that I've seen to be a repetitive cycle for me in my life for years and years. And that kind of comes to the whole title of the podcast where I named it Narrative Stands, because I kind of made it like a saying, Narrative Stands, Keela Tree, she going crazy again, because that's what everybody is known me for. Is to whenever something going on, I'm always going on live, or I'm always expressing it, or I'm always putting it in a song, and explaining to people what's going on. But I do it in a way that's unhealthy. What's up? Shout out to everybody that's tuning in too. I appreciate y'all for real. But yeah, I usually just kind of react in ways out loud that are unhealthy. And in this season right now, I am really literally isolated by myself. Nope, I'm not letting anybody join my live. Sorry. Yeah, but I'm in a season of like isolating by myself. And so I'm just here to kind of touch bases with y'all and tell y'all how it's going for me so far. It hasn't been that long, and no, I have not changed overnight. So I wanted to title this episode "A Closed Mouth Don't Get Fed" because that is like a popular idiom, a popular narrative. That's what I call them, is narratives. And so one of the main focuses that I'm trying to do with Narrative Stands is kind of twisting, or not twisting, kind of looking in a different way of certain things that we're used to hearing, certain sayings that we're used to. So closed mouth don't get fed kind of reiterates the whole, if you don't speak up and say something, I don't know what that text message just said. Oh my God. If you don't speak up and say something, then, how do you expect to, what is she talking about? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't have you blocked. Side note, I do not have you blocked on the computer. But if you're referring to Facebook, I can't even go to Facebook right now, so I'll check. But tune into my TikTok. You got my TikTok. I am Keela Tree's TikTok. And you can see me on TikTok. I know it again. It's a delay in YouTube, but again, the closed mouth don't get fed. She can't see my Facebook. A closed mouth don't get fed is usually a saying where start. You need to speak up in order for things to be done for you. And this particular circumstance, I'm kind of flipping the narrative on that. Um, so we're just kind of reframing from the whole saying, not saying for you to remove it from your memory or anything like that, because it's still a very good saying, because we want to make sure we're speaking up and not suffering in silence. But in this form of silence, I'm meaning like for unhealthy outbursts, unhealthy reactions out loud that you either regret later, or you just don't like in the end how it made you look or made you feel. And so some of the ideas that I put here, in demanding your silence. Hey, okay, look, you found me on TikTok. Some of the ideas, make sure you share it as well, y'all, please. So, some of the ideas for people that are battling with outbursting or reacting to things that either disturb your energy, your spirit, or whatever the case, or you always feel the need to speak up and it's in an unhealthy way. I kind of, I just wrote down really a list of like 5 things, and y'all can do it as well to help you remember like kind of the triggers, or help you to see what the triggers are. So, one of my ways to demand my silence, and humble myself to be silent and not react to things that disturb me, is by sitting in it and making sure I feel everything and I'm understanding every emotion that I'm, channeling or dealing with at that moment. So a lot of times mine is rage, it's anger, it's vengeance, really, and that's the worst kind of feeling, really, in the end, once you do kind of react, to reflect back on it, and not be proud of. So I said one of the things we need to do is sit in it. Avoiding how you're feeling, is kind of a way of running away from it to me. We want to allow ourselves to feel those emotions so we can remember how it made us feel, which will kind of give us a different look in a different direction on not wanting to feel that way again, and being motivated to find ways to cope in a way that we don't have to feel that again. And I want to tell y'all right now, I'm not a licensed therapist or anything like that. So this is just from one regular, normal human being to another one. So I'm not licensed, none of that. All I can do is kind of give my opinion. And if you agree with it, then maybe it'll help. If you don't agree with it, then I absolutely understand 100%. So I said, for one, we would sit in it, or I would sit in it and feel everything. And then there's another stage where I feel like writing down plans, because upon sitting in it, it's just like I'm reflecting to myself, or realizing, coming to a realization, like, what am I sitting here crying for? What am I raging for? Why is this such an important reason for me to feel how I'm feeling right now, if I'm putting that in the right terms? Because a lot of times we give the wrong things power by how we let it affect us emotionally. The wrong things, the wrong people, the wrong situations, circumstances, all of the above. So I had it to like write out plans in that time that you're feeling like you're just sitting down. A lot of times we're not progressing or doing anything while we're sitting in it and feeling everything. So it just allows us to remain stagnant and still where we are. We can't process how we're feeling. Well, as far as me, I know that's how I am. I can't process how I'm feeling. So I started writing out plans on things that I want to get done, or at least want to accomplish, even though in that moment I knew I couldn't get up and do it. So if I say something even minor, such as paying my light bill, something minor like getting all of my laundry done, something minor like getting up to cook dinner, things like that. So writing it down sometimes kind of helps you, because when you look at it, it's like, let me get up and get this done, instead of just sitting here in my own sorrow and my own anger and frustration. If I'm saying anything wrong, y'all, please make sure to correct me, give your valid opinions. If you want to post in the comments, because I know a lot of people can relate to reacting in ways that we are not proud of. So if you want to drop any, um, I guess, pointers or advice on how you cope with, learning silence, or being silent. She's talking about this yo stuff. No, this is for all of us. This is me speaking to the world, and the world speaking to me, in a positive way this time. Because any other time the world spoke to me, it was me having drama going on. So the other thing, writing out plans, is kind of equivalent to my second thing, where it says be busy productive, so that what you're doing actually has a meaning, and kind of an end goal. So you're not just sitting there doing nothing, wasting time, again, sitting in your sorrows. Write out your plans, whether small or big. The next thing is be productive and make sure you take advantage of that time to want to elevate yourself and be better. So I feel like the best motivation when you're down or feel defeated or feel angry or feel vengeance or feel sad is to elevate yourself, not just to prove a point to anybody else, but to, to prove a point to yourself and to help you keep going. You know what I'm saying? So nothing should stop you from prospering. Um, Again, it kind of tags along with the next thing that I put down is use it as fuel. Use whatever you're feeling and whatever your emotions after you're done sitting in it, after you're done making plans on what needs to be done. Because in the time that we're sitting in it, we're not, 9 times out of 10, we're not doing anything. We're just sitting in it sad, reflecting, thinking about memories, thinking about old times, thinking about the ways that it could have been, thinking about ways you could have reacted another type of way. But since it's already happened, we can't go back in time. So just use that as fuel, to get up and do something productive. Because in the meantime, while you're doing all these things, it's kind of distracting your mind from, reflecting on everything or reflecting on whatever it is that's making you mad. I know in a lot of my situations, I sit there and I just think, and then I try to do something positive and I go back to thinking. But as long as we keep our brains, give me a minute. I'm so sick of these ads. When I tell you, Uncle Sam gonna get his piece of the pie every time. So we're gonna have to wait 12 seconds for that to go down. Y'all probably can't even hear it anyways. But let me turn it up some. Hello, everybody that's tuning in. We just having a quick little conversation for a little while, and it's crazy because I was gonna start at 9, and now it is 9. So I'm not gonna be talking for a whole hour. I'm gonna let y'all know that because again, not to say I am by placing it on me as to this is what I am, but I know I have a problem struggling in speaking out loud. I can only express myself in music. So this is really me. When I tell you I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone, amongst any type of judgment, anything like that, I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone trying to speak. And if I stumble upon my words, I do not apologize because this is just my process. And I'm just going to get better in time. Can y'all hear that good jazz? I love me some good jazz music now. I might start singing a bit. Okay, and then, yeah, challenge yourself to elevate. So that's what I wrote in my little notes. Make sure y'all, these are so cheap. You can write these down and remind yourself. I know a lot of people, well, I know I do. I get sticky notes and I hang them around my apartment, whether on my mirror, on my door. I've been doing it for years just to remind myself because it could be at any point. You using the restroom, and not to, TMI, but you can be using the restroom and then thoughts just kind of start weighing on you. And then you look up and there's a little sticky note on the wall. Some people might not understand what's going on with that, but it's another way that I cope too, because it's like constant reminders. I'm seeing it constantly, especially for those who are by themselves a lot or live by themselves or don't live with other people. So, and then they don't talk to other people on a daily basis or on a regular basis. So they take that time. I take that time to remind myself. It's like a friend telling me, hey, keep your head up. I'll just have a sticky note that says keep your head up, or just scriptures and just in random places. So let me see. I really got I got these all out of order, Lord. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one though. Okay, because I know a lot of the times, what draws us from not being silent is feeling like we need to speak out on a situation to either defend ourselves, our image, or our reputation. It can be based on someone portraying you to be somebody you're not, or kind of making it seem like you're a monster. In my case, I feel like a lot of times in situations where I do react, my character is being tested and I'm being labeled or judged by people who are only saying things that they feel are what I am or who I am, negatively too. And I know my heart, I know I'm a good person, so nothing anybody says can just kind of deter me away from knowing who I am at heart. But it's just something still on the inside of me that just feels like that's not right. I need to speak up. I need to say something. That's one of the things that kind of trigger me in out of my silence. Another thing is feeling like I need to tell my point or point the finger to the person who's, accusing me of being this or being that, or doing this or doing that, or whatever the circumstance is that I'm speaking out about, I want to make sure that your flaws are being, out loud too. And that's an unhealthy way of coming out of your silence. I'm trying to think of other ways that kind of can make you, you know, feel like you need to come out of silence. But whatever that reason is, everybody has their own reason. Fight against that. You're stronger than that. Because as long as you can't control your mind or your thoughts, or if you don't have a control of your mind, it's like you don't have control over anything. Your mind is really a terrible thing to waste. So protect your mind. Pray over your mind. I'm almost done. I'm finna wrap it up. Okay, so, and this next one, it says, what are you feeding your mind as well? So a lot of times we pick up on actions and habits or certain ways based on what we intake. So I put our intake is a result of our outtake or our outpour. So if we're accustomed to watching, for example, like watching shows that are nothing but drama, violence, just sadness or whatever the case, a lot of times the things that we intake are the things that we outpour as well. So if I'm watching drama and then thinking it's okay, laughing about it, just for example, baddies, and that's not to shame baddies, because yes, I watch baddies. So when I watch things like baddies and stuff, it kind of, although in my mind I'm not thinking that this is affecting me, but at the same time it's my way of entertaining drama, entertaining something that doesn't help my character. I may look at those women and just feel like, okay, this is good entertainment for me, but these are not women that I want to be like, or these are not ways that I want to behave or act. But still, the fact that I'm entertaining something like that, it can affect how I act or how I react to things. So I listed here, sometimes we have to replace what we listen to. Even music can have a role in influencing you to behave certain type of ways. So you have watch what you listen to, replace what you watch, even replace where you hang or replace your circle sometimes. So it really, going over this, it kind of opens or sheds light to the fact that we're really going to have to sacrifice a lot of things if we want to be better or elevate to a different level of maturity, spiritually, all of that. And then we're getting older, and times are crazy, y'all. It's crazy. Hey, Michaela. Oh, my sister tuned in. That's probably not even my sister. That's probably my niece. Hey, y'all. And I know I'm not going to get a lot of people tuned in this time, and that's okay. I'm here. The more I'm consistent in it, the more I know it'll build. And if that one man do not stop asking to be in my live, if you do that one more time, I'm going to block you, sir. Now, I'm trying to talk in my customer service voice, but don't play with me now. And then I have some Q&As, but that's if y'all want to indulge. I'll ask, it's really just two. I'll ask myself and answer myself if y'all want me to, but it puts here, the first question says, how do you incorporate periods of silence into your daily routine? Because, yeah, I'm finna block you. I can't find you, you crazy man. If you do not stop trying to join my live. Y'all lucky I'm not tech savvy. I'm getting old. I done hit the 30 plus club. But please, dude. You gonna make me... I need to be silent. You got me contradicting my lesson right now. That's just a test. Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted, the question here says, how do you incorporate periods of silence into your daily routine? Because it's not easy to just go from being somebody that's outspoken, like me, very much. I have it very bad. So I'm very much outspoken. And I know this whole YouTube gonna be my side, this side of my face just talking, and oh my God, whatever. But I'm looking at my TikTok. But yeah, anyways, I keep going off track. Lord help me. Ways that I incorporate it into my daily is again, it takes sacrifice and like even habits in my situation. So The times where I feel like, am I wasting my time right now just sitting here doing nothing, watching this show that's just binge watching all day, or can I use this time to kind of think and just sit back in silence? A lot of times, again, whenever I feel like I need to go into a moment of silence, is when the thoughts in my head start playing tricks with me. I sit there, I sit in it, and I'm just silent. Whether I cry, because crying is a good way of releasing it. Whether I cry, I pray, get in my Bible, I write down, I journal. So I wanted to show y'all too. My mommy just bought me this today. So I do encourage journaling. If you love writing, because I've always loved writing, just pour your heart out into your own little journal. And this was on Amazon too for $10. And this is my favorite color, y'all. But yeah, journaling is a good coping mechanism if you love writing, or if you love recording or podcasting, getting on live and talking. Oh, I appreciate you for liking my live. She said, God talking about practice what you preach. Yes, he is, y'all. Hey, Ebony, I don't know if you still in here, girl. Hey, y'all, that's my coworker. Hey, girl, hey. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go to the next question, though. And it says, how can individuals overcome the potential discomfort or fear associated with silence? Kind of double backs on what I just said, finding ways to cope and keep yourself distracted, keep yourself elevating in a positive way. I'm telling you, if you use it as fuel, it is the best. And I don't want to say the easiest, but it's the best type of motivation when you use what you're feeling and how you're hurting as fuel to elevate yourself. You don't want to just sit in it and still remain the same, because what are you learning from that? What are you gaining from just sitting in it and remaining the same? You feel me? So yeah, I use my anger as fuel. And I know I have to practice what I preach now that I'm starting to speak out loud and publicly in a positive way. So this is another way that I do have to humble myself going forth to be a representative of what I'm speaking on. So yeah, no longer will you see me, and it's good to write stuff like that down too, to remind yourself and demand it from yourself. No longer will you see me making outbursts that are not healthy for me. No longer will you see me sitting in my sadness forever and not using it as fuel to elevate myself. No longer will you see that. Can I just give y'all, and that's up to y'all if y'all want to do it or not. If you're dedicated on trying to be better with me, because we can elevate together, okay? Because y'all, I'm toe up from the flow up, okay? But can I make it like an assignment for us, so that the next time I do go live, we write out a list of what we will no longer do, no longer be, no longer say, no longer go, no longer entertain, no longer watch, or no longer listen to. Just do it like a small list, even if it's 10 or 2 or 3. Just write it down somewhere and put it up so we can go over it on the next episode. If y'all feel like y'all want to say anything in the comments, then say something in the comment. Thank you so much. Again, y'all, this is my first real live engaging with people in this type of way and in this type of form. So I do thank y'all for being patient with me, whether it's two people or one, or whether I'm talking to myself. I really appreciate y'all for taking the time out to tune in and listen, whether you're on Facebook from my the live link that I posted, that I am live on YouTube, or whether you're on TikTok. So, and then my Instagram, if y'all want to follow me, at I am Key Latrice. And then, yeah, the website is having some technical difficulties right now, but that's where I will be streaming most of the podcasts. It will be still connected to the, tied into the YouTube, but Narrative Stance podcast.com is under construction right now. So like I said, I'm not tech savvy, but if you got anything good out of what I said today, drop a key in the comments, or let me know if you have anything to add before I get ready to close out, y'all, because I think I've gone over everything. So drop a key for me. Drop a key, come on. We're going to change the narrative, y'all. We're going to change the narrative of how we used to see ourselves to how we should see ourselves. I'm about to go. I ain't got that much more to say. I went over all my notes. If y'all got questions for me, Anything you want to say? I made me some chicken spaghetti. I'm sorry, before this episode, and that chicken spaghetti calling my name. Oh Lord Jesus! It's calling for my phone too. I love you, Scoop. Michaela, I love you. Thank you for coming in. You didn't miss much. It's really just my first little kind of podcast. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on TikTok. We were kind of going over ways to elevate ourselves. And the first topic for this episode was demanding our silence, learning to be silent in the right moments, in the right times, and then ways to remain silent and ways to cope. And I also kind of left everybody with assignment to list down, if you're willing to and up for it, to list down things that you will no longer be or no longer engage in, no longer entertain, no longer listen to. Anything that negatively impacts your mind, your spirit, or you as a person. Write down that list and write down ways to cope in your own silence, because we all have our own way of coping. I gave some of my examples how I cope. I get in my Bible, I journal. I will be doing some more journaling now that I got my new journal. I love showing it. Y'all, ain't this a pretty color? This is called tropical. It's not teal, it's not green, it's not blue, it's tropical. Yeah, we just went over because a lot of people, and when I say a lot of people, I look at myself and I see myself when I say it. The narrative has always been the same with me. Known to go live, known to outburst negatively, known to turn things up online. And I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to be that anymore. I'm trying to be better. We're going to elevate together, y'all, one day at a time. But thank you for tuning in. I really love y'all. But I am getting ready to go. And I know Scoop gonna cry. Thank you, Jim. I think there's a way to join my club too. Y'all, I seen other TikTokers do it too, y'all. Y'all can press this little heart up here, I think. Am I pointing at it? And then join my club, my fan club. Even though I don't look at y'all as fans, I look at us as family. So join my fan club so that y'all can know when I'm going live. But thank y'all, that's it. Drop some keys if you got some good knowledge today. Drop some keys, drop some keys, drop some keys. Drop some hearts, drop some keys. Join my fan club. Follow my podcast. Follow my YouTube, Narrative Stands Podcast. I'm not gonna sing today, y'all. I'm gonna do music reviews later on next week, and then I'll let y'all know when the next episode will be dropping. But I love y'all. I'm about